But yeah,
Let's
we'll
lock
get
things in
the
with, yeah, all right. Let's lock
full
things
recap
in with
going.
that. All right, so let me do it on this chart here, actually. Okay, so real quickly, all right, on the weekly chart, we had a couple things happen. All right, we quickly came back into this new week opening gap here, right, or this weekly volume balance, if you want to call it, and we had this immediate rebalance here on the weekly, right? So in my opinion, here, I don't think we made a bottom yet, but I think we have lower to still come, right? What we're getting all out of here is we're coming out of this discount weekly BISI here, right? Coupled with this kind of like breaker area. And then we also are inside of this monthly fair value gap here. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at here. In my opinion, I do think we'll probably come down to this low, potentially even this rejection block here on the monthly. So I'd keep these in mind as well. Right? I think in my opinion, after getting this immediate rebalance here on the weekly, the next week must move quickly downwards, right? Or if it wants to consolidate, do an inside bar, and then move quickly on the next one, then that's fine, right? If we start to push higher and we start to clear out this immediate rebalance here, right? Then we could be looking for a potential bottom, but I genuinely don't think that is gonna happen. I think this is the fucking biggest fucking long squeeze ever. All right. What do I mean by long squeeze? So basically, what I see the market did here, right, is we set up, we had all these fuckers who were short here, right, and we just completely wiped them out of the market, right? We absolutely wiped them out of the market, right? And now you have retail and everybody thinking, okay, wow, did you see we just went up 10, we just went up like 15% in one day. Holy shit, we're back. Whatever, 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 right? Now people are wanting to get into long positions. They're like, okay, yeah, I think the price is going to continue going higher. I think they're long, the market is finally back. Where is what I'm thinking is that this was just all a fucking big Judas swing, or what it's called, like a short squeeze here. So we squeezed all of these shorts out, right? To the place where nobody wants to be short on the market anymore. Right? And then now everyone wants to be long in the market somewhere here, right? Now we're gonna run every single person that was long in the market here, right? Because for me here, looking at this 15-minute chart, this looks way too clean. This looks way too clean. And all of this looks way too clean, right? This looks this generally just looks way too clean to me, right? It looks like we might be forming a little bit of a sell model here. So I think what just happened is we wanted to wipe out everyone who was short here, right? See how we stopped after we took out all these highs? There's no more liquidity into this high, right? That tells me, at least gives me a little bit of an idea that we just wanted to run every single one of these stops and then do one more big stick lower, right? And clear out everyone, right, who's been long. So what we've been doing is we've been so far generating this liquidity here, right? And I think very soon, whether it's going to be next week due to this weekly immediate rebalance, or if we're going to consolidate this week, build up more liquidity, we're going to have a quick rundown into um into new monthly lows. So what am I looking at as kind of my levels here, right? Obviously, we still have this right here as a wick consequent encroachment, okay? Right? We have a little bit of a shit, it's negative, my bad. All right? We have a standard deviation target, right? At the negative 1.5 standard deviation of this wick, okay? And then obviously we got through here. We took out this sell side. I still think we had we possibly still have this liquidity void to deal with here on the daily. Okay. Something to keep an eye out for. And this is with the B adjacent chart off, right? And we still have this low that we might want to take care of here that we just generated here. All right. So keep that in mind here, right? Something else I would keep in mind here is this volume balance here, and pretty much this whole entire SIBI here acting as a reclaimed. All right, you want to see this hold here. If kind of by Monday we're trading within the range, there's nothing wrong with that, right? If we want to consolidate inside of this range and build up liquidity, that's fine, right? But I think, right, we are probably going to have a really big stick down. Let me actually check out news real quick and see if there's something that they can use to just fucking manipulate the shit out of us. I mean, yeah, this Powell is speaking at Wednesday, So I wouldn't be surprised if we were setting up for something on Wednesday. I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to me if we just dumped, right? Again, I did talk about this last outlook, right? I either wanted us to displace straight through these lows here, or I wanted us to come down to these lows and do a consolidation, right? Those were the two outcomes, in my opinion, that we want to see. And if we want to do that consolidation here, I think that we're down. We're due for one more leg down, and that's it, right? At least from like a market maker's perspective, right? But obviously we can keep going lower, especially with the tariffs and shit that's still going on. But yeah, I think that unless we move quickly to the downside off of this weekly immediate rebalance here, right, then we may be kind of done for now. Right? At least on here, right? It makes sense. This is a pretty decent area to reject off of, right? But I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it just yet. On the non-B adjacent chart, we did come and we did hit the negative 1.5 standard deviation projection from this wick, but I still think that we have more thing. I still think we have lower to go. I don't think there's this is the bottom yet. I think this is just a little long squeeze and then a short, just a big Judas swing, if that makes sense. And I think ICT said it really well. Trump is trying to make the market look good for the short term, and that does make sense. But we are pretty big down, and if we want to remember the way the year started, we have a accumulation for the year, right? We should have our manipulation down to wherever it wants to go, and then we can obviously distribute up very heavily. So for now, we're stuck with this. How do we trade the market while there are tariffs and everything going around? I think that if you're just trading, right? You're just trading. I think it's a good idea to know when Trump is talking. It's not always going to be on Forex Factory, right? But if that's a concern for you, right? Make sure you know when Trump is going to talk, right? And then that could influence a lot of shit, right? And I also think that the manipulation from what Trump is saying, to some extent, the market is going to prepare for it, right? To some extent, the market is going to prepare for it, and I think that that's kind of just how it's going to go, right? And I think that he's doing shit now. He paused the tariffs and shit, and I think that he's doing some China shit, but I think that honestly, you just have to trade normally as if you were with your regular draw. I don't think they'll do anything too extreme that completely like ruins what price was gonna do originally. If that makes
I would say though, I mean, if you are super worried about the current event news like affecting the markets, maybe just like every 30 minutes or something during the New York Open, just kind of look up fucking Trump tariffs and see what comes up. Because I mean, like for example, when the 90-day thing came out, I believe that was like the night before at like 8 p.m. or that morning. I don't really remember exactly, but it was something like if you were looking for it, you would have seen that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
obviously that does have an effect. Yeah. So just kind of
Yeah,
stay
something else you could
in
do is
tune.
just be super picky, all right? Like
Yeah, that
especially
too.
and the volatility of the market that we have now with the VIX. The VIX is still pretty high, but it's very fun in this market to be on side, and it's very annoying to be offside. So it's very important to make sure that we're taking those good setups that make sense, right? And understand that if you are worried about being completely caught offside by like some dumb shit like Trump saying tariffs are paused, right? Make sure that we have our stop losses in place.
Break even.
We know, we go break even, and we're up to date on when Trump is talking, right? I, for what it's worth, I personally do not give a fuck. I'll
Hmm.
just trade whatever. I don't look at when Trump is talking or whatever, right? But I just trade like 90%, 95% technicals. Right, because I
Respect.
don't know. The way I think about it is if price was gonna go there anyways, if Trump says some shit, they're just gonna move it down there. I could obviously be completely wrong about that in terms of my jaw, but yeah. And if anything, Top Step X is gonna fucking break anyways, and I'll just report that shit and get my trade back.
Huh.
That ass works, bro. If you see a bug on Top Step X, go full pour your XFA, go to support and be like, yo, there was a bug on Top Step X, refund me my trade, and they'll refund it to you.
Yeah, I gotta cut this part
Most
out.
times, don't take my word on it and do it the fucking second you see it. But most times they will.
This is the sauce that you came for.